What's up, YouTube? Back again for another video. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than the usual reviews. Today I'm going to be ranking my top 5 personal top 5 favorite AC/DC albums of all time. It's pretty much goes without saying, AC/DC is one of the biggest bands of all time, one of the best bands of all time, and they were actually the first band that I ever got into liking as a fan, really. And I just recently saw them in concert with Axl Rose singing with them this past September in Cleveland, and it is the best concert I've ever been to, bar none. It was absolutely incredible. They blew me away like nothing I'd ever seen before. And I'm a huge fan of their discography and their body of work, especially the 70s early stuff. So I'll go ahead and get into this. This is top 5. It's pretty hard to do because there's a couple that I could have possibly included in the top 5, but though they would have just missed. But I'll go ahead and get into what my top 5 is now. And as you can see at the top one there, number 5 on my list being Let There Be Rock, which was released in 1977. This is the version. It's got a little slightly different track listing than the original version. It's got like it's Problem Child, but Problem Child is actually on Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap album, but it's on this version. Like, I guess there's obviously multiple versions of these albums, but some of the songs on here are just absolutely classic. I mean, some underrated songs like Go Down, Dog Eat Dog, and there's some classics like Let There Be Rock, Bad Boy Boogie, Hell Ain't a Bad Place to Be is one of my absolute favorite AC/DC songs. Whole Lot of Rosie's great. So I mean, it's classic. That's the best way you can describe it. This is one of the best albums they've ever put out, definitely. And it's my number 5 favorite AC/DC album. Coming in at number 4, their first released album internationally, I guess you could say, High Voltage. This came out in 1975. This is basically a mixture of their first 2 albums that they released in like Australia and whatever, and it kind of combines those albums, and it's got some awesome stuff on it. It's a Long Way to the Top. I mean, everybody knows that song. It's one of the most iconic songs probably ever. The Jack's awesome. Live Wire, freaking incredible song. TNT, High Voltage. I mean, this album is very, very good. This is absolutely one of their best albums, and I can see why a lot of people would have it higher than 4. But for me, it's just a number 4. It's kind of criminal to put these albums so low, some of them, but it's still a great album. High Voltage, number 4 on my list. Coming in at number 3, AC/DC's biggest album of all time, Back in Black. I mean, yes, it's overplayed. Everybody knows it's overplayed. It's actually like overplayed to a fault, even. But it still does not take away how huge this album was and still is, and how big of a deal that it was, and quite frankly still is. I mean, it's got some of their absolute biggest songs on it, and there's just nothing you can really say about it that's negative, besides it's overplayed. I mean, Back in Black, Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, Giving the Dog a Bone, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution, You Shook Me All Night Long, Have a Drink on Me. I mean, those songs go without saying. You don't even have to say anything about those songs. Everybody knows those, for the most part, those songs, and these are absolutely just incredible songs. Classic, vintage, some of the biggest songs in rock history, on the biggest album in the history of rock, as far as the album sales go. So Back in Black is just awesome. Number 3 favorite AC/DC album. Coming at number 2, Highway to Hell, their last released album with Bon Scott. I mean, who doesn't love, if you're an AC/DC fan, who doesn't love Highway to Hell? It's an absolutely incredible album. Honestly, for a while, this was my favorite AC/DC album, but it's since fallen to the number 2 position. But that doesn't take away how great and how awesome this album is. And I can listen to this album pretty much any time. It's that good. Some of the songs on here, I mean, Highway to Hell is obviously one of the most iconic rock songs ever. Girls Got Rhythm, Walk All Over You, Touch Too Much, Shot Down in Flames, If You Want Blood, You've Got It, Night Prowler is incredible. I mean, this album is just so good. Absolutely killer album. Great, even though it's sad, obviously sad that Bon Scott, this was his last album and he, died tragically. But this is still an awesome way to go out as far as like your last album. Even though it wasn't obviously meant to be his last album, but what an absolutely incredible album. It really helped AC/DC start getting more popularity and known and stuff, and it helped propel them into what they would become. So, number 2 favorite AC/DC album, Highway to Hell. Now, my number 1 favorite AC/DC album, Powerage. Released in 1978. This album is absolutely just phenomenal. It is. I think it's AC/DC at its best. Honestly, it's so raw. It's so just in your face. It's just so pure, classic, vintage AC/DC at its finest right here. This is I think probably their most, well, obviously raw album, and maybe their most organic album. I mean, Powerage is absolutely incredible. Some of the songs on here just go without saying as well. Rock and Roll Damnation is pure classic. Down Payment Blues, I love it. Give Me a Bullet, Riff Raff, incredible songs. Sin City, wow, what a song. You know, all the songs on this album, every single song, even like, you know, What's Next to the Moon, Gone Shooting, Up to My Neck and You, Kicked in the Teeth, they're all just in your face rock and roll, but at its finest, and AC/DC's best work, I would say. I mean, it's just so consistent. There's not that many really big songs on this album, but there's so many just awesome, classic, kind of hidden gems on here that really put this album over the top. So Powerage is my favorite AC/DC album. So yeah, that is my list of my top 5 favorite AC/DC albums. Let me know what you all think. What is your top 5? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know what your top 5 is in a comment or whatever, and just, you know, give me some feedback. But that's my video. That's my top 5 personal favorites. Not necessarily what the 5 best are, but that's my personal favorites. So thank you all for watching, and more videos will be in the future. Thanks for watching.